I dare say, I've accomplished
Good. I see the Arisen.
Go on, have a look.
Someone here always calms me down. To each their own. There's a ladder here.
Perhaps new discoveries await us above.
While you're here, eh?
Wish I need to replenish my stock before long.
I seem to recall leaving just such an item in storage.
Seems my feet always lead me. My bed calls, and I shan't resist. Need anything?
This place is lovely. I might stay one.
What was it I had to do? I'm in fine fettle today. While you're here, eh?
Pray, allow me to open yon chest.
Mayhap I'll treat myself to a tipple before bed. Living's hard, but dreams are free, they say.
Now I have to go to market on top of all else.
Places.
Mayhap I ought to ask around town.
Mayhap I ought to phone us. No horses arrive.
We have found a material.
Different combinations of materials result in different creations. Must we run everywhere? You are an impatient one, say. Weren't we tasked with another errand that sent us somewhere near here?
Perhaps we ought to go there first. What say you, Arisen?
We meet again. Truth be told, would you care to stay and talk a moment? I'm glad. Sit down, won't you? I'm rather fond of this place. I ne'er imagined a city could be like this. So full of excitement, so alive. And how could I have? In all my life, I've hardly left the palace. My mother is quite strict. Oft did I long for a taste of normal life. Even aught as simple as going shopping for myself. My mother has always procured the things I covet for me, so to pick out an item and obtain it with my own hands held a certain of course, in the end, you were the one who made the purchase. That's all right. I know you meant well. Besides, I can safely say it was still a novel experience. I wanted to give you something in return by way of thanks. Here, this is for you. My apologies, friend, but I'd best be going. I mustn't let Mother find out. Thank you for indulging me. I do hope we'll see each other anon. Till then, farewell.
Nice to see everyone out and about.
I should open the office today.
Oh dear. What am I to do? Hail, friend. Have you a spare moment? I've an eye for people, and my instincts tell me you're of trustworthy ilk. I'm in a bit of a quandary, you see. I'm to be gone for a week, with no one slated to mind the house in my stead. Fear not. I only ask your name to list as a tenant. You needn't bother yourself with the cleaning, and I don't expect you to stay cooped up in there, neither. I'd be much obliged if you'd simply consider my home a waypoint on your travels. Sound appealing? Then come on by and have a look-see. I've taken the liberty of marking the location on your map.
I must judgment. The townsmen.
Shall we pay Miss Daphne another visit? I find myself wondering how the lass fares. I know where that person...
Oh, it's not right. It doesn't make any sort. The doctor examined him afore and said he'd be better with a bit of medicine. Yet e'er since he came here, he's only gotten worse.
I understand how you must feel. But you must see that your son's health continues to wane. There is no medicine that can heal him outright. He requires proper treatment. I am caring for him as best I can. I beg only, however, if you truly cannot entrust him to me, perhaps you would care to take him home with you instead. Mayhap convalescing in a place familiar to him would aid his recovery. Of course, I would be sure to visit him as oft as I am able.
Home, you say?
Dear, we are pressed enough as 'tis.
All right, he stays. But pray, bring my son back to health.
I will look after him. I swear it.
Nothing ever seems to...
around here.
Why's my luck so rotten?
I don't know. Sir, ought you not be in... Ah, it is a pleasure to make your acquaintance. My name is Eleanor. I have the privilege of serving as abbess here. I regret that I cannot offer you a cup of tea, but I'm in the middle of making my rounds of the patient. Not to mention, I have to find the means to procure more medicinal ingredients. Oh. You wouldn't happen to know someone willing to brave the roads, would you? I know 'tis perilous, but there is one ingredient in particular we cannot afford to run out. You would procure it yourself. I am grateful beyond words, sir. In that case, might I trouble you to bring me some miasmite? The slums are a bane to the body's humors, and its residents are oft prone to illness. We do what we can with what little we have, but we're always short on help. Your aid is most appreciated, sir. May your search prove fruitful.
Tell is miasmite. Can be harvested from phantoms, monsters that wander the world at night.
At last! It all becomes clear.
Our soldiers need better training. Well met, sir.
This ladder...
Greetings. Here we conduct all manner of procedures pertaining to... locations. If there is... Do come again!
Well met. You will soon forget the fatigue of a long journey when treat... to the foremost hospital. Hospitality in all Vernworth. Much obliged.
out of this.
Have precious little time.
I worked hard today. I think I earned it.
Not game enough, Dag.
What should I do? Yes, sir. Have you procured what I asked? Splendid. You've my gratitude. Unfortunately, I can give you little more than that. Forgive me, but I must return to my rounds directly. Ah, but in place of a reward, mayhap I could give you a tour of the premises. Only if you've the time and inclination, of course. What say you? Would you care to accompany? As servants of the gracious hand, we provide whatever treatment we can to those unfortunate who are stricken by maladies. Yet, at times, 'tis not enough. Perhaps you will recall the parents who were here when you first arrived. An unfortunate pair. They've suffered no few hardships in the slums, and now even their poor son Lubomir has fallen ill. By chance, he was examined by a roaming man claiming to be a doctor. Yet, the family had not the money for the medicine he required. So, he was put into our care.
I'll gather this. It might be of use.
What to do? Hoy, Arisen! Say, have you heard about the state of the river? Do you know the river close by the church? Well, it's come to be full of muck and filth. That's a problem for the church, as it draws from the river to make holy water. The water... I was thinking you could help the priests by finding some gold ore. After all, it wouldn't be good for anyone if the church ran out of holy water. I was hoping you'd say that. Thanks ever so much. I'll help too. I'll look for gold ore every place I can think of.
Now we seek gold ore. Though 'tis sold in shops, mining some ourselves might prove the better choice.
Here he is. This young man is Lubomir. We've been administering the medicine recommended by the doctor who examined him, but he has yet to show any sign of recovery. To be perfectly honest, I doubt the soundness of that so-called doctor's judgment. After all, there is no shortage of ne'er-do-wells out there, willing to claim their medicine the only cure, that they might inflate its price. But I suppose I ought not say such things so openly. At any rate, I'd best continue on my rounds. Pray, stay as long as you wish. Come, come. We've medicine to prepare. We've enough to make a fresh batch now, thanks to a kind donation.
Psst! You there! Help me! Listen, the sisters here are good to us, but I'm growing weaker day by day. It started with a slight fever, and now I can scarce lift myself up. See that empty bed? An old man was lying in it till just a few days past. He told me he was feeling better, that he'd be well enough to leave anon. And now he's... Mayhap I'm just imagining things. I hope that's the case. And yet... something isn't right about this place. Pray, should you hear any queer rumors about the Gracious Hand, come tell me of them, won't you? I'd see to it myself, but I can hardly move.
So dull when there's nothing doing.
Might you be a friend of Lubomir's? He's seen better days, hasn't he? There has been talk of sending him down to the basement, should his condition fail to improve. That is, the basement sick room. where our most critical patients convalesce under the abbess's care. None of the other sisters are permitted entry, including myself. Teles. She gives the patients a special medicine. I know not what kind. At times, I hear strange cries and moans drift up from below, which is to be expected. Those who come here suffer all manner of affliction, and yet, a part of me is afeared for them.
So, the worst of us are taken to the basement. Mayhap that's the source of the queer voices I hear at night. And none save the abbess can enter? If the gracious hand has a secret, 'tis the abbess who keeps it, I reckon. You've done this much for me. Would you be willing to go further? I must find out what goes on down there. You've my thanks. I just can't stomach the thought of lying here not knowing. Of course, all the better should your search come to naught. But if you do find aught amiss down in that basement, it must be the should you find evidence fit to implicate her, will you help me see to it that justice is carried out? See, I've already reported my suspicions to the sentinels, and we've arranged a signal. If you apprehend the abbess, they'll know to come and arrest her. So I beg you, sir, find the evidence you need, if it exists to be found.
I know not why, but the words basement signal.
Chaos in the world begins.
Yeah? What is...
A moment's prayer can do a world of...
Off to market I go.
I've a pressing duty to which I...
Yeah? What it...
A fine place to harvest some ingredients.
I'd say...
Did you want something?
You looking for a fight?
The hour's grown late. What would you of me? I'll have no trouble.
Is it true you're the Arisen? Only, I seem to recall someone else boasting of being... Just be sure you play your part. A fellow Drake or two.
If you've naught to say, make it quick. I ain't got all day.
Elena? Ah, yes. The abbess of the Gracious Hand. A fine woman by all accounts. I was in her care once myself. But I must admit, I've always felt there's something off about her. You see, I was only a little under the weather when I entered her care. But then I started getting sicker and sicker, till I was certain death would come for me. In the end, I survived, but methinks I was one of the lucky few. So many died, and once I saw her, the abbess, meeting with a strange man. She handed him a large parcel, all wrapped up, and he gave her something small in return. You'd think 'twere medicine, but I'd not have bought medicine from a man like that. He had the look of a scoundrel about. They were whispering, but I did hear one of them say aught about keeping quiet. 'Tis well suspicious, eh? Where'd they meet? 'Twas in the square in the eastern part of the common quarter, and always a night, as I recall.
I'll not.
Sets my thoughts down dark paths, this place.
I'd hasten home, were this not my duty.
Time to head to market, methinks.
Here.
Aye, this is plenty. Lord Phasus is like to be in your debt. Nicely done. Suppose it can't have been easy to procure this much so quick.
You suppose wrong. I command their full faith. 'Tis simple for me to extract what I require.
Ha! You're a fearsome one. Here's hoping I ne'er end up in your care.
Enough. I gave you yours, now you give me mine. I'd not be seen here with you.
Ah, of course. Wouldn't want to hurt the Lady Saint's image in the eyes of the common folk, would we? Here's your special medicine.
Glad we understand each other. Till next time.
Aye, be seeing you.
Lord Phasus. 'Tis a name of great import, of that I am certain.
I'm not sure what we're dealing with here.
I spend my days in quiet reflect.
Something fun to do.
Time to head to market, methinks.
I know not why, but the words basement sick room set my hair on end. Shall we investigate?
Well said.
I could use it.
If I were your master, I'd not leave this unread.
Let's have a look then.
Good evening, sir. I trust you fared all... right on the road? Despite the hour, you know where to find me.
I'm sure I can handle this.
Times are hard. I'm barely spoken.
A chance to put my feet up is as welcome as mine. Anything to
This is generally used as a material.
Different combinations of materials result in different creations.
Got something for me? Got something for me?
Mayhap 'twould serve us well to track down the former patients mentioned in these records of treatment.
I quite...
Oh, someone help me. Jahan? Bruno, where have you... Oh.
Ah, our errand is nearly done, and not a moment too soon.
We need only pass our burden into the hands that await it.
I suppose 'tis so. We've arrived at...
Hoy, Arisen! Have you found any gold ore yet? Wow! This'll be plenty, I reckon. Thank you. Listen, I was talking to the priests, and apparently our troubles aren't over yet. Would you be willing to lend us a hand again, Arisen? Just one more time. Thanks. So, remember how I told you about the river by the church getting all mucky? Well, the grown-ups are saying it's gotten worse. Now lots of people who live nearby are falling sick. The priests have been treating everyone as best they can, but there's nowhere near enough medicine to go round. I want to help them, but I'm not sure what I can... Apart from ask you, that is. Would you bring us some more? Oh, thanks, Arisen. What would we do without... I'll talk to the priests in the meantime, see if there's anything useful I can...
Now, we...
Hoy, Arisen! Have you brought any medicine with you? Now that's just splendid. Oh, thank you, Arisen. This should be plenty. I'll take it to the church.
It's a goodly deed we've done, aiding the sick. I only hope our efforts go away.